Hey y'all, Brad's here. Dee's been on me about, she wants me to smoke a brisket, so we're getting ready to smoke us a brisket tomorrow. So what I'm gonna do right now, we got a 7.5 pound brisket, and this side of it that you see is what we call the fat cap. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna season. It's pretty easy to season one because it's just basic spices. All you really do is just salt, garlic, and black pepper. So we're gonna put that on the fat cap side, and then I got a rub that I like. It's from some guys up the road here, exit 319 off of I-40. If you're ever up there, is the Redneck Barbecue Lab. Best brisket I've ever eat. Awesome ribs, everything they cook's awesome. If you're in the area, check them out. But anyway, they got a rub they sell, and I got this rub, and that's what I'm gonna put on the meat side of the brisket. So we're gonna take a little salt, just coat the fat side good, get it salted down. Don't want to put too much. Like I said, this is the fat cap. Put some garlic on it to your liking. Just make sure you get a good coating. And then once we get done, go ahead and put some black pepper on. Once we get done, what we'll do, we'll take some plastic wrap or plastic cling wrap, and we'll wrap this brisket tightly so these spices can marinate and season into the meat. And this is like I said, about a 7.5 pound brisket. So it'll probably cook, they say, an hour roughly for every pound. So you're probably looking at about 7.5 hours to cook it. And that's at a temperature of about 225 to 250 degrees. You don't want to overcook it, or you don't want to cook it too fast, because brisket is very temperamental. The slower, the more tender it'll be. If you try to cook it too fast, it's gonna be tough and you're not going to enjoy it. So we got the fat cap seasoned. So what I'm gonna do now, just pick it up and flip it over, and you can see the meat side here. And it's a sinewy meat. Let me grab this towel just a second. Brisket is a sinewy meat, and that's the reason that you can't cook it too quick. And I'm about to grab the salt. What I'm gonna do is put the rub on this side. And when I say sinewy, it's got a lot of collagen in it, and you don't want the collagen to cook too fast. The slower you cook it, the collagen will melt and be more like butter than it will be like glue if you cook it too fast. Trust me, the worst thing you can do is get in a hurry cooking a brisket. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna put a good coating on the meat side. We're gonna slow cook it tomorrow. We're gonna use some good old hickory chips to get some smoke in it, some good flavor. So basically what we're gonna do, once we put it on tomorrow, we'll put it on at the grill about 225, and we'll have a thermometer with it. Once the internal temperature gets to 160 degrees, we'll take the meat off, we'll wrap it in foil, we'll put it back on the grill, and then we'll let it cook until it's 203 degrees internal temperature. It's done then. And once it gets done, we'll take it off the grill, put it in a cooler for about an hour, and let it relax. We'll let it quit cooking. So that's very simple to do. It just takes time to do it right. You just don't want to get in a hurry. So here we are. We got our Redneck Barbecue Lab rub on. So the next thing I'll do is just take it and put it in some wrap, stick it in the refrigerator tomorrow, take it out early, let it get to room temperature before we put it on. Hey y'all, we're back. It's Labor Day morning, about 9 a.m. We're getting ready to put this brisket on. It's been seasoning overnight. I got the grill prepped. I already got some coals in. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna lay it on the grill. We're gonna put the meat thermometers in it. As you can see, this side's seasoned with the Redneck Barbecue Lab rub, fat cap seasoned with salt, pepper and garlic.
Fat side seasoning up, huh?
Fat side up when you start. All right. This probe right here, this grill probe, this was going to tell me what the temperature of the grill is. That's it, right? Let's move right here. Okay, I'm gonna take this grill probe and put it in the meat. You usually want to put it about the thickest area, and it's hard to say. This one's pretty flat. We'll try it right here.
That does look the thickest.
Put that one in right there.
Ooh, there's a bug up there on that grill. Get him off.
I don't need no extra protein.
I sure don't.
All right. What I got here, I took last night. Got these hickory chips, and what I did, I took and soaked them in bourbon. So they've been soaking in bourbon all night. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and throw a couple of these in this smoker box so I can lay it on the coals over here.
Getting dizzy trying to follow you here.
And that's it.
So you got the coals and the chips on this side of the grill.
Yeah, I got it on the heat.
And that pan right there.
Got a pan of water in there to keep moisture in the grill. And maybe about 8 hours from now, we'll take it off and she'll be done.
So you got coal and chips and a pan of water and then the brisket on the far end.
Right.
Gotcha.
Brisket's been on about 5.5 hours. It's finally reached an internal temperature of 160 degrees. So now we're going to take the brisket out. We're going to wrap it in foil. I'm going to add a little apple juice to it just to keep it moist. And then we'll put it back on and let it finish cooking while it's wrapped. We're looking for a finished temperature of 203. So this is the first time we've lifted the lid since we put it on this morning. Woo. Look at that right there. That's looking good. All right, let me take this temperature probe out. Good spark on that side. What I think I'll do, I think I'll set it back on.
I have to talk louder. There's a tractor in the background.
Set it back on. If I had it down the other way. I think I had it that way. I'll go ahead and put these back on. So I can get temperature probe back in it.
Ooh, it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
And that is?
This is apple juice. Not a lot, just a little in there. Keep the moisture in.
Cute little apple juice. Come over here. The grill is hot.
There it is. Put another small piece on top. Let's just wrap. All right. Close the lid. That's it. We'll let her cook till she gets to 203 internal temp. Then we hope she'll be good. Time will tell. Here we are about 9.5 hours in. We finally reached the internal temp of 203, so this brisket's ready to come off. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take it off the grill, we're gonna put it in this cooler, and what that's gonna do, we're gonna let it sit in the cooler for about an hour, and that's what they call let it relax, or letting it quit cooking. So it's been on this grill, it's hot, it's been cooking, now we need to let it just rest and relax before we start eating it. So that's what we're gonna do. Go ahead and take the meat probe out. And
Juicy.
yeah, it is. Get a little bit of that on there. Clean it off right quick. And there it is.
Smells good. See you in an hour.
See y'all in about an hour when we get ready to cut it. All right, we let that brisket relax for about an hour, maybe a little on, a few minutes longer. So I got it in the pan now, took it out of the cooler, put it in the pan, brought it in the house, and we'll get ready to see what it looks like. It is still hot. Get this foil off of it. Ooh-wee. There.
Yum. That's pretty good to me. Some people wrap them in a towel, don't they? But I think that cooler probably keeps it warm enough.
Yeah. All right.
Comes the test.
Like I said, we cooked it for about 9.5 hours. We let the internal temp get to 160. Then we wrapped it in full. Then we let the finish.
203.
Then we let the finished temp get to 203.
Ah. Two
So-
temps.
And this brisket, the grain of the meat runs this way, the long way of the pan. So when you cut a brisket, you got to cut across the grain. Okay, let's see what it looks like.
Will you push that pan a little closer to me so I can see? Yeah, there. Thank you. Now the peoples can see.
They got a nice smoke ring in it. Yeah. Mmm.
Is it
That's
good?
good. Yeah.
Tender?
Mm-hmm. Not quite as much bark on this one as I normally like, but it'll do. And there you go. So the best meat you'll eat. All it takes is a little time, a little patience, or should I say a lot of time and a little patience, or a lot of patience. Just don't get in a hurry with a brisket. All right, y'all take care. Say a blessing. We'll see you later.